Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chicago. I'm Chicago psychic and intuitive, Mel Dorr. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I apologize to my followers. I was going to do a YouTube yesterday on Linda Grindel's channel, and we had a scheduling conflict. Linda had to take her dog to the vet. Plus, I found out through one of my clients that I had been exposed to COVID. So I went and I got COVID tested, and it came back negative as I thought it would. Anyway, so I thought I'd answer some of your questions. Now, I'll be doing my 2020 predictions probably on January 2nd or 3rd. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And I'll be on Linda's channel January the 3rd again. So happy holidays, everybody. And so let's get to some of your questions. And I hope everybody's having a wonderful holiday season. Boy, it's right on us, isn't it? Wow. I'm doing this from my office. So anyway, happy holidays. Okay. So Betty asked, can we say goodbye to Tucker Carlson, and will he be held criminally or civilly liable for intentionally spreading vaccination lies? You know, I've seen a lot of legal papers. My guides show me a lot of legal papers around Tucker Carlson. So I've got a funny feeling he is going to be sued civilly for a lot of the lies he's perpetuated and things like that, and for people that he's lied against. And so I see him having his downfall. But there's going to be a lot of litigation, civil litigation against him coming in 2022. So, and I think he'll settle some of it out of court, but if he takes it to court, then he's silly because he won't win. And I had to laugh because now I understand that Donald Trump is suing, I think, the Attorney General in New York. Another frivolous lawsuit that's going to get thrown out of court. You know, at some point, more of his lawyers are going to be in trouble for filing these frivolous lawsuits. And what about Mark Meadows suing all the members of the committee? Well, that's going to go about as far as a snowball in Hades, because all of those will be thrown out as well. These are just stall tactics. They really are. And I am sure, you know, first of all, Mark Meadows said he wouldn't cooperate. Then he said he would. Then he said he wouldn't again. But all these lawsuits, I'm sure that Meadows talked to Trump, and it came right out of the Trump playbook. So they're just doing it as a stall technique to try to run out the clock. But my guides say they will not be successful. Meadows, I see under indictment, and I see conviction. So, all right. Flora says, aloha, Psychic Mel and Linda. Wishing you a Merry Christmas, and thanks for calming us down. Thank you, Flora. Sunflower asks, hi, Mel. In 2022, there will be a special election in California to fulfill Devin Nunes' seat. Do you see a Democrat winning? Thank you, and happy holidays to you. Thanks, Sunflowers, for asking that. Love the name. I do see a Democrat taking that spot. And, you know, that brings up with Nunes. Remember when he was head of the Intelligence Committee and he kept going to the White House and he was saying, oh, I just happened to visit. Anything going on in that committee, you bet your bottom dollar. My guides show me he was running right to the White House and feeding it to Trump hook, line, and sinker. And now Trump asked him to resign and be the CEO of Trump's new broadcasting or social media company, whatever it is. And that company's already under investigation from the Securities Exchange Commission. Donald Trump is using Nunes, obviously. And at some point, those two are going to have a huge falling out. And, you know, my guides show me at some point Nunes is going to have to testify in front of a congressional committee. I don't know if it's pertaining to Jan 6 or if it's something else. But I see a lot of trouble brewing for him. The other thing too is if, Trump has a CEO of his company, and if there's anything illegal and Nunes is in that spot, then Trump can always blame it on Nunes. Trump will throw Nunes under a bus. Nunes is just not bright enough to see it coming. Anyway, I do think Trump is running scared, as evidenced by all the lawsuits he's filing. It's funny, when Donald Trump gets fearful, he files lawsuits against people for the exact same things that he's done, like all the Jan 6 committee, the attorney general in New York, she's using it for political gain. She's going after me because of whatever. That's what he does to people. So it never surprises me because Trump always tells us what he's going to do before he does it. And then everybody keeps getting surprised. He gives us, he tells us. So my guides show me that he's really nervous and running scared. Thus, more conspiracy theories. Trump will never apologize, and he'll never admit defeat or that he was wrong. He'll always attack. When that doesn't work, he finds something else to divert people's attention to. But he is going to have his downfall. I see it like a big Humpty Dumpty. And it's starting to happen. And my guides show me it's going to intensify. This Jan 6 commission is going to be bringing out a lot of stuff. So we'll see a lot of that happening in 2022. Anyway, so with Nunes Sunflower, I do see a Democrat in that position. Yay, sorely needed. And Nunes, when he went to work for Trump, he signed his death warrant, really. Sweetie Darling Lulu says, have Trump's Secret Service detail been interviewed by DOJ or Jan 6 committee yet? I don't know, but I do see some of those testifying in front of Jan 6 and to the DOJ. So, and I still see a few people flipping on Trump. So we'll see how that works out. All right. Jenny Brown, hi Mel. My question is, will there be any fallout for Joe Manchin for flip-flopping on the Build Back Better bill? What are his true intentions of voting no? Well, I think he's probably got a lot of people from the coal industry, like he's in their hip pocket. Obviously, there's money exchanging hands somewhere. But the Build Back Better plan is not done. I see it going through. Linda Grindel said it would be after the first of the year. I thought it'd be around Christmas time, but just because of what Manchin said on Fox News, I see that Build Back Better plan going through. They might have to trim it, but then what they'll do is at a later time, just add another version of it, or the things that were trimmed later on added in. It's really not good for Manchin's political career. I'm sure the folks in West Virginia aren't liking that much. And I see him out of office at some point, but I see BBB Build Back Better going through. My guides show me it'll go through at some point. And as will voting rights. So, all right, let me just check something here. Let me take a look. Martha Spillman asked the question, I was wondering if his rejection of BBB Build Back Better on Fall News, she called it, Fox News, was a signal to Republicans that he wants to join them. I don't think he'll ever come public and say he wants to join them, but they already know that they kind of got him in their hip pocket. So anyway. you know, they say his approval rate is 60% with his constituents. Well, those are the Republicans, but what about the Democrats of that state that don't like him? So I see it going through at some point. So the Build Back Better bill. So thank you, sweet darling Lulu. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, Jenny Brown, for asking that question. He's going to have fallout, absolutely. Dusty Rose wrote, this is funny. Were there a hell, Trump would be there shouting to the crowd. This is his biggest rally he's ever had. I love that. Okay, Letitia James, that was a New York Attorney General. And it says, what impact, if any, will this have on the cases she's working on against him? I think it'll put more fuel on her fire to build a better case. His lawsuit against her is not going to go anywhere. It's frivolous and it's going to get thrown out. Okay. Ari Bog, I think. Thank you, Mel. Happy holidays. A question about climate change. Will we see temperatures extremes like we saw last winter? Absolutely. Extreme warm, extreme cold, more tornadoes, unfortunately. Oh, and by the way, the monies from the last two videos, I'm donating tomorrow to the Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund, and it was right around $575. So thank all of you for watching. And I'm already up to 12,900 subscribers. So when I get to 13,000, again, I'll give away 3 free half-hour sessions. So everybody please subscribe. Then when I get to 15,000, I'll give away another 3 free half-hour sessions. So thanks for your support. I appreciate it. So yes, Ari, we'll see a lot more climate extremes. Okay. Candy Mullen, I think. Okay, it says, with the upcoming release of the new Matrix movie, the idea that we're living in a matrix is circulating once again. Can you share your guys' thoughts? It's nice science fiction, isn't it? But no, we're not living in a matrix. This is real life. It's not some computer program. But makes for interesting brain food, doesn't it? Okay. S. Barb, could the Biden administration be waiting for the January 6th commission to reveal its findings before going aggressive? And will any member of the Senate need to step down as a result? Well, they're going to be revealing their findings really soon. And I see some indictments coming from that and also convictions. If the Republican Trumplicans, they don't step down, they might be forced out, but it's going to uncover a lot. And at some point, I think they're going to call a special prosecutor in to investigate this, just like they did with the Mueller report. But it's not going to be an attorney general who'll put it on the back burner or say that there's nothing indictable like Bill Barr did. In fact, I see that Mueller report being, my guides keep showing me, it's like the phoenix, it's going to rise again. And as a result of stuff from the Mueller report, I still see some indictments coming from that as well, and convictions. So the Mueller report will be brought to the front burner, if you will, also. So you know, I just don't see Biden as being super aggressive, but the Democrats have to be a little bit more, I don't want to use the word aggressive, but a little bit more on the offense, and they will be. Okay, so, okay, Anna, I think it's Macedo. Will billionaires finally have to pay their share of taxes? I see legislation being passed where it's going to be tiered. like the more you make, then the more taxes you should pay, not the other way around. And so I see a lot of tax reform coming. My guides show me that's going to help the middle class and give them tax breaks. All right. A. Amland said that we make her day. Merry Christmas. And she says, hope for relaxing, love-filled holidays for you both and your followers. Thank you. And same to you. Linda Frazier said, prayers for comfort and peace for all that are suffering. Let's take a moment and send out energy for that. Maybe we surround all with love and light, and most of all, just be thankful and be kind. Hallelujah, Linda. I love that. What a beautiful holiday message. Make every day the holiday, right? Sharon Donnelly. Was Ginny Thomas involved directly in the planning of the insurrection? I don't think she was directly involved in it, no, but I think she'll be questioned if she knows anything. So we shall see. So I see her being questioned. All right. It says, Sherry French, hi Mel, I was wondering if anyone else feeling themselves somewhat off during this Gemini moon phase. For me, it started last week, feeling fatigued, distracted, and forgetful, to name a few things. Thank you. I really don't know enough about astrology to know what the moon in Gemini is all about, but it has felt a little off for me lately, and a lot of other people too. So there it is. White Dragon. Ooh, I love that White Dragon. That's a cool name. Will Manchin ever pay his dues? What is his future like? Oh, absolutely. He's gonna have to face his karma. You know, I think the reason somebody asked earlier, and I don't know if I answered it well, but I think another reason why Manchin is not wanting this Build Back Better is I think he wants to play to the Republicans, because if he knows that he gets their support, then also if he runs again, he'll have Republicans voting for him too. And he thinks that'll keep him in office. And I think West Virginia, where he's from, but I think he's just signing his Waterloo. He's signing his death warrant with that. Anyway, Electra Storm, I love the name Electra. Will Biden give up on trying to change Manchin's mind and try to get some moderate Republicans who want to go against Trump to support Build Back Better? That's a great question. You know, Linda and I said we saw a couple of Republicans coming in and voting for BBB, Build Back Better. I don't think Biden's going to give up on working with Manchin or trying to change his mind. Biden, he's not going to give up on the Build Back Better plan. I think if anything, he's going to push more to try to get it put through, and it will get put through at some point. So Biden's not going to give up on it. All right, at least my guide showed me that. Pat Lee, aloha Mel, aloha Pat. Much love to you and your family. Is it true that cardinal birds are spirit messengers? They can be. Hawks are more messenger of spirit, but any animal can be a spirit messenger. People too. All right. Cat 96. When you die, does your memory of your life fade away and become irrelevant? And I say absolutely not. I think our personality, our soul stays in spirit, and our energy comes back to give life to a new form. So I believe that our life, our personality stays on the other side. Okay. Annie M. She says, happy holidays. Do you see the New York State Governor, I can't pronounce her name, Hochul, winning in 2022, or there will be a Republican in her place? I see a Democrat as governor of New York. Even then, I'm not seeing a Republican taking over. So my guides show me Democrat. Okay. Hold on just one second. Heidi B said Rohel Medeiros was sentenced to 110 years in prison for an accident that killed 4. Will the governor of Colorado grant him clemency, or will he win an appeal? Many truckers and people are outraged at the sentence he received. I do see an appeal of some sort. And I do see he'll have to do jail time, but I see the sentence reduced. That's what my guides are showing me. All right. Body and soul reconnection. Is it wise to stock up on canned goods and other non-perishables due to the rise of cyber attacks that could take down power grids for days and therefore not allow grocery stores to open because cash registers would not work? Well, I remember when we had a power outage here in Chicago for an extended time, and the electric wasn't working the cash register. So what they would do is they had a calculator and they'd look at the price, they'd write it by hand, and they just calculate it out by hand. So, I think we'll have cyber attacks in our power grid, just more of a reason to, to put safeguards in place. And that's another reason why we need Build Back Better. I do at some point seeing our government upgrading the government computer systems to the highest tech, top of the line, but it also putting things in place where it's going to make it very difficult for cyber attackers to get into it. I think as we speak, that's already taking place behind the scenes, like better security, better computer systems. So, if you want to stock up on food, that's okay. But if anything, get your freezer full of food because prices are going up because of the supply shortage. I don't think it'll get that bad though, body and soul. All right. Maria says, happy holidays. Hi, Maria. Andres, happy holidays to you. Red Gypsy, happy holidays. She said, you guys rock. You rock too, Red Gypsy. Can you tell me if it's common for new babies born in a family to be an ancestor reincarnated? That's quite common, and it does happen, yes. I'm told my grandson is my grandfather. I don't know about that, but they can be reincarnated, absolutely. PB says, why do the Democrats pull their punches on Republicans and Republicans go for the jugular for decades now? Is this just a style issue or something more soul-related play? I probably think it's just a more style issue, but I think the Democrats need to get a little bit more offensive, and they will. I don't mean offensive like to be nasty, but take the offense more, and they will. Okay, Charlotte R. Hi, Mel, happy holidays. Will the critical race theory become a part of this country's educational curriculum? It makes me laugh. Many, many years ago when they were teaching evolution versus creation and they politicized it, look at that mess, and they still are arguing about it. I think it'll be elective. Like if people want to take a class on critical race theory, or they can put it in the curriculum, but they'll teach other theories as well. So that's what my guides tell me. Okay, Roxanne Dungaro, I think. Happy holidays. She says, I'm sure everyone has this on their minds, but what is the future of the Build Back Better and the Voting Rights Act? Well, I've just answered about Build Back Better. I see it pass at some point, and I see Voting Act bill going through as well. And even if it's 50-50, then Kamala can break the tie and vote for the voting rights bill. It's imperative. And I think Biden is really going to start pushing for that voting rights bill to get through. I think they probably could get Murkowski and Collins to vote for the bill. Albeit Susan Collins, she gets on my nerves. Well, he won't do it again. And he did it again and again and again. So I think she's had her, as it were, come to Jesus meeting. Sometimes playing the politics gets you in trouble. Mark Corrett says, happy holidays. No questions today. Enjoy the festivities. Doug in Idaho says he loves watching us. Thank you, Doug. Um, ethereal material, I love that. Says, hello, friend. I'm always happy to see you and Linda together. I don't know about you all, but I need a dose of positivity these days. I absolutely agree. Uh, my question is, what is something positive that's coming up for us to give a much needed boost? Well, the positive thing is I see Build Back Better going through, and I see the voting rights thing being passed at some point. That's pretty positive. I see the inflation coming down a bit because the supply chain shortage is going to be rectified. So I think those are pretty positive things. I think, we are going to have the Omicron blizzard, as Fauci put it. Thank goodness Omicron is not as deadly as Delta. It's more contagious. But I'm still thinking that finally in 2022, this whole COVID thing will be behind us at some point. Okay. I think it'll begin to wane probably in springtime. All right. And so the reason it's hitting vaccinated people is because they still have some immunity against Omicron, but not as much as they would have against Delta. I don't think that the vaccine enhances the disease. I don't feel that. I think it's important to get the vaccine. They might even come up with an Omicron booster, which I see in the works. So that's good news for an Omicron booster. All right, and it'll be safe to take. Oh, by the way, today is December the 21st. Happy winter solstice here in the Western Northern Hemisphere. It's the shortest day of year. It's our first day of winter, while in Australia and New Zealand, it's their first day of summer and it's their longest day of year. Hi, everybody in Australia. Happy first day of summer. Happy longest day of the year. For us, it was the shortest. Now our days get longer. Yours get shorter now. Anyway, I wouldn't mind being in Australia for the warm weather. Happy holidays, everybody. Okay. Melissa Balog, from one Chicagoan to another. Yay, Melissa. Do you see the downtown violence ending and the Gold Coast and Magma returning to its former glory? And the answer is absolutely yes. I see a new mayor coming into the city who's going to really, really, really crack down on the gun violence, the violent crimes, and the gang activity, and start prosecuting those responsible. I heard Lightfoot saying she was going to do that, but I still see a new mayor, and that mayor is not going to put up with any nonsense as far as violent crime or shootings. So, in fact, we did go downtown on Sunday, and we went to Wrigley Field. I love Wrigleyville. That's at Addison and Clark. For the Chicagoans would know that. And they had a Christkindl market there. It's not like the one at Daily Plaza in the city, but we didn't go to that one. We figured it'd be wall-to-wall people. But at Wrigley Field, it was really neat. And then we went over on Clark Street and we had this pizza place was the best. Oh my God, it was so good. And I was with my cousin Ralph and my cousin Laura and their daughters, Megan, Alyssa, and my cousin Lisa, my husband Gary, and myself. It's kind of a tradition. We do it every year. Then, so it was really a fun time. Then one of my clients called me and said that he had COVID. So I went and got tested and everything came out fine. But anyway, I see things returning to what they once were in Chicago, and a lot of this violence ending. So thank you, Melissa. After the holidays, I will put up maybe I'll do it even between now and Christmas, and all the pictures I've got post-COVID, and we didn't do it last year because of COVID, but this year, so you can kind of see what it's like in Chicago at Christmas time. It's really cool stuff. All right. It says, Shivani Dumas, on an energetic level, will your guides be willing to speak about the use of language? I noticed some people condemn, criticize, bemoan situations using negative spiraling speech rather than being neutral or uplifting in their expressions. What is the resonance in the collective? There's a scale of 1 to 100 of use of words. Several words or expressions are above the 50% and the rest are below. Well, I think thoughts are things. You know, a lot of us get on a down trip and it can bring others around us down. Words are very powerful things. I try to stay positive. I mean, it seems like a lot of times when we can criticize and we do use more negative speech patterns. Anyway, I don't quite know the question other than language is very powerful. And so I think we should all try to keep it positive. Okay, Deborah Joy. She said that Demarius Thomas from the Denver Broncos passed away recently at only 33. He was such a bright light, and his birthday's on Christmas. Does he have any messages for us? I'm sorry about that loss. Sometimes it takes a while before we can start getting messages from spirit. I'm not picking up anything right now, but you know what, Deborah, ask that at a later time, because then maybe I can hook into him. Okay. Okay, oops, sorry about that. I just lost my place here. Someone was asking about the governor of Michigan, and they're asking if the governor would get reelected, the governor of Michigan, who I think is a Democrat. And so I see a reelection there, and I see a Democrat in that place. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me have a second. Look, I lost my place here. Okay. Here we go. Governor Whitmer, I'm sorry, of Michigan. There's a Republican vowing to spend money against her. Will Governor Whitmer be reelected? I see a Democrat as the governor of Michigan futuristically. My guides show me that. Girl Janusel, I think, Genius. Oh, Girl Genius 2. I'm sorry. Sorry. These are so small, I'm having trouble seeing. Mel and Linda, my question is about our guides. We have more than one. The answer is yes, we have many. And if so, are they always with us or do they work in shifts? Well, I think they come to us at times when they feel they need to, not necessarily so much when we want them to, but they are around us. I don't know if they have shifts on the other side. I'll be like, I'll take the day shift, thank you. Okay. Elaine Gold. She says, I think there should be some covert action taken to sink Manchin's corporate repug yacht on the Potomac and never let him float it again. Well, you know, I do see his boat being sunk, but not that one. I'm talking about his political boat. So that's what my guides show me. Okay. Susan Bain, please take a look at Oregon for the next 12 months in terms of fires, earthquakes, bizarre storms, natural disasters. You know what I'm going to do, Susan? That's a really good question. And I'm going to make a little note of myself right now. I'm writing. And when I do my 2022 predictions, I'll make sure that I take a look at Oregon and the rest of the country for weather. I had planned to do weather anyway, but I will certainly add that in. Okay. before he leaves office at the end of the year, will Cy Vance bring forth an indictment against Trump? That's Cheryl I say McLemore or McLemore. I don't think any indictments are coming in 21. I think it's going to be more in 2022. But whoever takes his place is not going to give up against Trump. I can tell you that right now. Okay. Christina. It says, have you ever heard of the 90.10 virtual med bed? No, I've never heard of it at all. I can't really make a comment on it. I'd really have to do some research on it. So Christina, I've never heard of it. Okay. Just Ann says, student loans are restarting. The child tax credit is expiring. The pandemic is surging as badly as ever. Prices are way up, and it feels like we've been cast off to fend for ourselves amid possible circumstances. Will Biden and the Democrats do anything to help my life noticeably better for us average folks before the midterms? I think they're trying, like with Build Back Better and all of that. But, you know, every time they turn around, they've got the obstructionist repubes standing in their way. So at some point I see, you know, with student loans, you have to repay them, but I see help coming with that. I see lower interest rates with that. At some point I see a child tax credit being reinstated. The pandemic, as I said, Dr. Fauci is predicting like an Omicron storm or blizzard, he said. But thank goodness it's not as deadly as Delta. As I said, by the springtime, I think this Omicron thing and a lot of this will be behind us. I see a booster for Omicron too, also coming out. So I do think that President Biden and the Democrats are going to be doing everything in their power to help bring down prices and to help us get through this. So, I mean, a lot of people are angry, but the thing that we need to be angry about would be, I think, should be more at the Republicans and saying, look, stop your obstructionism, but the Republicans don't care. They want people to get angry, so they won't vote Democratic. They don't care about the constituents. They don't care about what you're paying at the grocery store. They don't care about anything like that. They just want to keep their power. So let's get angry, but if we get angry, let's send the letters to the Republicans saying we won't tolerate this. All right. So that's a good point, Just Ann. I really like that. Thank you for bringing that up because I get a little mad too. Okay. Susan Garland said, what was Steve Mnuchin's motivation in working for Trump? Motivation, ooh, that's a good one. Well, his motivation was to make money, to be self-serving. And she asked that he embezzle money. I'm not going to come forward and say that he stole anything, but let me put it to you this way. He wasn't, my guides are showing me he clearly is not whiter than white. And he's going to be under some investigation too. Don't kid yourself. So my guides show me. Okay, Joanna Howard, aloha Mel, Meli Kalikimaka, that means Merry Christmas in Hawaiian. Meli Kalikimaka to you as well, my dear. Ooh, this is a good one. It says, the Red Hill water crisis in Halawa, Oahu, where the military has downplayed their hand in it. What do you see happen to the future of why? Why in Hawaiian means fresh water. So she's asking what's going to happen to their water supply. Supposedly the military water supplies only the bases in the Pearl Harbor, which are now contaminated. Well, I think the military clearly has a hand in polluting that water. And that's going to come to the surface, no pun intended. All right, that it was clearly the military responsible or partly responsible. So I see massive efforts coming to clean up the water supply. And I see the ones in Pearl Harbor being cleaned up as well. So that's what my guides show me, like clean water. But thank you for bringing that up. I'll be following that, Joanna. I'll look more into it. Okay. Marion Purnell, a Merry Christmas, she says. Do we see home health care workers getting increases soon? And the answer is yes. I see some kind of union brought in and, just saying that, a lot of home health care workers, if you're going to do this, you can join a union, or I just see better wages. So, okay, Lisa R says, will any version of the Build Back Better pass? I'm heartbroken. Lisa, don't be heartbroken. I'm going to tell you what James Cargill says. I remember that night when Biden was running against Trump and it looked like Trump was winning. And James Cargill said, put your Valiums and your razors on the top shelf. Not time to take those down yet. The mail-in votes aren't in, da, 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 da. And so I'm going to say, put your Valium and your razor blades on the top shelf. I see Build Back Better, my guides assure me, will go through after the first of the year. So Lisa, don't be heartbroken, but what you need to do is write Manchin and Sinema and tell them that this is not acceptable, and write your Congress people too and your senators from your own state. Anyway, I see it going through, Lisa. My guides tell me it will. It says, Maria Andreas, do you see any reporters researching to out Manchin as backers? Oh, I'm sure they already are. And I'm sure that a lot of those backers, if I did the tarot, is that how you say it? However you say it, I would see the moon, which means secrets, coming to the surface. So, oh yeah, there's going to be a lot that comes out about that. My guides are telling me. A lot of stuff bubbling up to the surface. So I'll be interesting. That's going to be like huge breaking news. I can see it. I just had a flash. There's going to be breaking news about a Supreme Court justice that I see off the court. It could be Kavanaugh. Just hit me. Wow. And it's hitting me again, like, when I know Linda, she does her side take. I just get the boom, it hit me. Okay. Deborah Jensen, here's something different. How come YouTube is allowing various psychic talents to go live without the 1,000 subscribers? I don't know. I really don't know much about the YouTube algorithms or how they do things. So Deborah, I can research that, but I just don't know, unless they change the rule, maybe. I don't know. Diana V says, is Joe Manchin just bluffing for a self-serving purpose? I feel like he's trying to get something out of saying he's a no vote for BBB. That's my feeling. I think you're right, Diana. I think he is trying to get something out of it. But at some point, I see maybe a trimmed down version of BBB going through. Whatever they trim off, they can just add at a later time. All right. Kristen Davis wants to know what's going on with Cy Vance. She thinks he's corrupt. He was paid off. I don't know about that, but I do think the person who takes his place is not going to give up with this Trump investigation in New York. I see a lot more being brought to the surface with that investigation. Prince Charming's mom. It's got a picture of a dog here. I love dogs. Do you see more winter tornadoes happening? Not this season, hopefully, but I do see a lot more severe storms coming. All right. The G. Maxwell trial ends soon. Any big names left to reveal? Will she write a book? I still see an indictment there. And I see that police officer that I think she's on trial now. I can't think of her name, but I see her convicted as well. Okay. I don't understand this question, so I'll move on. will Joe Manchin, Deborah asked, get voted out of office? And I see him out of office at some point. I do. Let's see. When can we see all involved on trial for treason? Anna Hutchinson. I don't know about for treason, but I see many people involved in Jan 6, the higher up ones, prosecuted. And I mean, it's not going to be a slap on the wrist prosecution. Okay. Somebody asked me to read on Peter Navarro, the guy from the War Room channel. I really don't know anything about it, Carol, but I'll look into it and see if I can get back to that. Okay, Cherry Cat. So now with Trump lawsuit, all people being investigated for criminal activity will be allowed to file lawsuits against the investigators. Well, you know, Cherry, I'm not a lawyer, but I think you could probably file a lawsuit against the Pope for being a Baptist. But that doesn't mean you're going to win. I think, you know, there's just Trump, it's just a Trump delay bullying method, but he won't succeed. They're going to be thrown out of court. And I think his lawyers are going to be chastised for filing frivolous lawsuits. That's where I see this going. Okay. Okay, Diane T asked if I posted a video yesterday with Linda. No, Diane, as I said, Linda had to take her dog to the vet and there was a scheduling conflict. I had to run and get tested for COVID. We talked about doing it later in the day, but then we just decided that it would be better. We were going to do it this coming Monday, but I'll be driving back from Kentucky, so I can't drive and do a video. So we just thought January 3rd would be good. And I think that's good too, because it's the new year. We could come up with some ideas and predictions and stuff, fun stuff. Okay. Barbara Teresa, hi, who's paying off Manchin to not pass the BBB? Thank you. I think a lot of the energy companies, coal companies, I can see, you know, maybe have said, we'll make donations to this or that, or we'll do this, this or that. And he's in the coal business too, I think. So I'm sure there's some dark money going into that, but I still see that bill going through. Okay. Okay. Laura Davari, are they going to televise the January 6th court hearings when they question prominent people? I see video bits and stuff like that being televised. I don't know if they'll do the whole thing. Why did Chris Wallace leave Fox News? I don't know, but I'm sure he was having some kind of conflict with them. Obviously, it just wasn't to retire. Any Fox News people going to be subpoenaed regarding January 6th? Actually, I do see some of them being questioned. And I see a lot of civil lawsuits being filed against Fox because of Fox lies. And the people will win that file those lawsuits. Some will be settled out of court, but you know, it's gonna be a hefty sum that these people will win. Okay. Well, hi Mel, Elaine Jordanson, will any GOP be dismissed from office due to involvement with January 6th? I don't think they dismiss them. I think they have to impeach them. And I think it takes 2/3 vote. So unless the Democrats have 2/3 vote, I don't know if they'll be impeached. But I think there's so much that's going to come out against some of these people, they're going to have to resign. That's a really good question, Elaine. Okay. Let's see. It says Ellen R. Will any Republican implicated in the seditious insurrection? Oh, I like that, Ellen. Seditious insurrection. I like that. Resign or flee the country rather than face charges. Well, they will resign, a few of them, but if they flee the country, it's very simple. All the State Department has to do is revoke their passport, so they're brought back. So fleeing the country is not going to help unless they go to Russia or some godforsaken place. Pat Lee says, I can't believe I can feel waves of love flowing from my plants to me. Am I right, or have lost it? Well, plants are beings, and I think we can feel energy flowing from them. Absolutely. Blue Dream, when will housing and rent be affordable again? I see a lot of things going through Congress, like for people to have affordable housing or more subsidized housing. So let's say if you're renting a place, it's $2,000 a month, you can't afford it, the government would some way or another help subsidize housing. So I do see it becoming more affordable. I do see a crash coming in the real estate market. I think people are paying above appraised values for property. It's not going to be a crash like it was in 2008. But right now there's no inventory. And so that makes prices go up. And I think about a year and a half, people are going to want to get rid of their property that they paid too much for. They're not going to be able to. So I see short sales, but it'll become a buyer's market then. But I do see a little crash in store. So that would help bring prices down as well. Blue Dream. Okay. Somebody asked that Kamala Harris has had some bad press about her staff leaving. Also, President Biden has told her to lay low lately. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know about our staff leaving. I haven't watched it, but I'll research it and see if I can get some psychic hits on it for you, Linda. Okay. Okay, this is a good one. Bobby Moran asked, is it normal not to remember any of your dreams? It is maybe because I'm blocked. And same with memory when I was young. Well, sometimes, when we're dreaming, we do dream, but we typically remember the last dream that we had before we woke up. And then usually after we're up for a while, we don't remember that unless, it's something that triggers the memory of that dream. So it's a lot more common than you think, Bobby. All right. Carol Chandler asked, how much Russian money is in American politics? Which states have more Russian money in their politics? I think the better question, Carol, is how much Russian influence was and is in American politics and how much misinformation. And we know, or at least my guides tell me, that it's in a lot of the southern states, maybe not so much money, but the influence, absolutely. That's a very good question. And that will be exposed at some point. Keep seeing that Mueller probe coming back to the forefront. Okay. Janie Cutliff said, will there be a GOP Congress that aided and abetted the insurrection retire with their congressional perks, or will the retirement be taken away? Ooh, that's a very good question. Well, I think some of them resign. So if you resign, I don't know if you get your retirement package or not. Okay. Somebody asked Patty Palmer about Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, winning his race for the Senate. Well, I see a Democrat in that position, so yes. Yay. Okay. Catherine Rodier asked, will there be more help for mental illness? I think of all the healthcare in this country, the mentally ill are the ones that are overlooked the most, and it's sad. And I'm a real advocate for mental health. And will they come up with more things for people to get off drugs? I see a lot of more financial help, medical help coming for people who have mental illness, and a lot of money being put into prevention of addictions and diagnosing mental health at earlier stages, so it doesn't become so, the person doesn't become so debilitated by it. Lynn Surmeyer says, what's the future of train travel in America? Amtrak is so expensive. Europe has wonderful train systems. They're amazing. They're not as costly, but I see with infrastructure bill going through, a lot more emphasis to be placed on trains. So yay, a lot more rails being built. Okay. Everybody keeps asking me if we did a video with Linda yesterday. The answer is no, but we're going to do one. Okay. Let me just do one more here. A lot of people were asking me about the buildup of the troops with Putin along the Ukrainian border, and they're asking if he will invade Ukraine. And I say no, he was just being a bully. And I think that that phone call that Biden had with Putin, Biden gave him, I think, a pretty strict warning, don't do it. I think Putin would like to have the countries in the old Soviet Union back, like Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. He doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO or the European Union, I think. I don't know if they're part of the European Union, but at some point I got a feeling like Ukraine will be in NATO. I think he's got all those troops amassed, though, because he's looking to what's going to see in the 2024 elections, because he's thinking if a repube gets in, that he could invade Ukraine and we're not going to do anything. But, you know, I keep seeing Putin having his downfall too. My guides show me that. So, all right. Let me just take a look. I think that I've answered almost all of your questions here, I hope anyway. So it's been my sincere pleasure. My nose is itching. It's been my sincere pleasure. I apologize about the little snafu yesterday. I'll post another one between now and Christmas. So I want to tell everybody, stay safe, stay well. If you're in a cold climate, stay warm. If you're in a warm climate, stay cool. And as I said, I need just about 100 more subscribers to get to 13,000. So everybody subscribe. Thank you for a wonderful year, everybody. I love all of you. I get a little bit lazy with doing videos sometimes. I need to do more, and I will. That's my resolution for 2022, to do more videos. And thank you so much for your support. All the people that I met through YouTube has been absolutely wonderful. Other psychics in the community. And of course, not to mention Linda Grindel, who made it all possible. She's become a dear friend, and I'm looking forward to being in Sedona with her in May. And I just am so thankful that my friend Gunnar Goebel told me about Linda, and we were able to connect. She truly is a sweetheart. And everybody please send healing energy to her cousin Regina. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. As I said, I love all of you. Stay safe and well. Namaste.